I was broken. I was used. I was left for dead. Now I am the storm they'll never survive. Listen up. This is the switch. Mercy off, focus on. I'm done leaking power. I'm done explaining pain to people who fed on it. I'm done auditioning for respect. I'm not here to be understood. I'm here to be undeniable. I owe nobody the broken version of me. That model is discontinued. No refunds, no store credit. I'm not returning calls from the past. I'm blocking access. I'm burning the exit routes from discipline. If comfort knocks, I keep lifting. If doubt whispers, I speak louder. If old triggers twitch, I cut the wire. They taught me humiliation. Good. I learned hunger. They thought silence meant surrender. Wrong. It meant calculation. I logged every fake smile, every quiet betrayal, every love, with a price. I archived it to use as fuel, high octane, no guilt, no apology. Weakness had rituals, begging, explaining, waiting. I'm done. I keep receipts now. The only balance I track is discipline. Reps, pages, miles, hours. I don't chase closure, I chase proof. I don't chase people, I chase standards. If you can't match the standard, you never had me. If I needed you to see my worth, I was bankrupt. Not anymore. I move with disrespect for distractions. Sleep doesn't negotiate, it obeys. Emotions don't drive, they ride in the trunk. I'm not angry, I'm engineered. I don't lash out, I cut away. I don't post threats, I schedule victories. Quiet calendar, loud results. You want reasons, I have outcomes. You want explanations, I have routines. The man they broke doesn't live here. The landlord evicted him. The rent is discipline and it's due daily. I pay with sweat and repetition until boredom turns mastery and mastery turns menace. I don't bargain with old habits, I starve them. Temptation shows up as relief. I don't flirt, I don't sip, I don't sample. I tell it to fuck off and get back to work. I don't need validation, I need numbers that don't lie. Be nice. No, be precise. Be forgiving. No, be forgetting. I archive people like expired passwords. Access denied. Trust isn't a charity. It's a fortress with one door and a lock called results. You don't have clearance. I'm not chasing peace. Peace is the trophy, not the tactic. War is the routine. Wake early, shut up, train, study, earn, repeat. I don't manifest, I manufacture. I don't hope, I hammer. Motivation fades, systems don't. When I'm tired, I execute. The old me loved potential. The new me loves proof. Potential is poetry, proof is payroll. Potential flatters, proof signs. I sign with pain and cash with pride. If you tried to distract me with love crumbs, keep them. I treat attention like currency and interest like tax. I invest in what multiplies. I refuse to pay interest to gossip, drama, or anyone who needs an explanation to respect me. Respect isn't a negotiation. It's a reflection. If you can't see it, you're not close enough to matter. Failure isn't a villain, it's a mirror. I shave with it. I stop bleeding and keep cutting. Every mistake is a blueprint. Every setback is a reset. I won't romanticize suffering, but I will monetize it. If it hurt me, it owes me. Debt collection is daily. Pay in lessons, pay in progress. I don't revenge post. I progress post in private. They will see effects, not effort. They will call it luck. Let them. I'll call it invoices paid in silence. You won't hear threats. Boundaries aren't announcements, they're consequences. Touch the fence, get shocked. Push, get cut. I don't debate basic respect. I replace people like cracked screens, quick, clean, without ceremony. Nostalgia lies. Standards tell truth. I'm not healing to be lovable. I'm sharpening to be lethal. The world rewards the disciplined, not the damaged. I can be both and still choose the blade. Therapy is a tool, toughness is a rule. Distance saves me. Discipline saves me. You want the secret? There isn't one. Show up when you don't want to. Focus when it doesn't feel good. Eat the boredom. Wear the silence. Let people misread you. Let them call you arrogant while you're building. You don't need to be liked. You need to be undeniable. If you're waiting for permission, this is it. Stop begging. Stop proving. Stop explaining. Close the door. Cut the rope. Block access. Train like you owe the future an apology for wasting time. Act like enemies are in the room. I will not be the man who pleads. I will be the man who performs. I will not be the man who cries into pillows. I will be the man who lays bricks. Brick beats feelings. Systems beat moods. Discipline beats desire. Every time, remember this pain is tuition. You already paid. Collect the degree. Graduate from the past. Burn the cap and keep the crown. I don't need applause. I need momentum. I don't need peace talks. I need pressure. Pressure births clarity. They'll never see me weak again. Not because I'm pretending, because I'm done negotiating with failure. I am not available for disrespect, distraction, or discount versions of myself. I'm not mad, I'm meticulous. From now on, I move like proof. Remember who caused the pain. Outwork it until their names fade away. I used to wait. Wait for them to care. Wait for someone to see my worth. Wait for the apology that never came. I stood there holding a rope that was burning through my hands, thinking if I held on long enough, they'd pull me up. But they weren't pulling me up. They were watching me sink. I cut the rope, and I saved myself. You don't get it until you've been there, hanging between hope and humiliation. You don't get it until you realize the people you were counting on you staying weak. They liked you desperate. They liked you needing them. It made them feel bigger, stronger, worth something. The moment you stop needing them is the moment they lose their control. That's why they never came to save me, because saving me meant I wouldn't need them anymore. I used to think loyalty meant staying even when it hurt. Now I know loyalty to the wrong people is self-destruction disguised as love. And I'm done with that shit. I cut the rope. I stopped waiting. I pulled myself out of the pit they left me in, and I climbed with my own hands. You learn a lot when you save yourself. You learn that most of the people you thought were in your corner were just there for the view. They clap when you struggle because it reminds them they're not the only one losing. They smile when you fail because it keeps you at their level. They don't want you to win. They want you to stay where they can reach you. But here's the thing, I'm not reachable anymore. I stopped answering calls from the past. I stopped explaining myself to people committed to misunderstanding me. I stopped hoping they'd see my worth. Because I fucking see it now. They call it changing. They say I'm different now. Good. I was never supposed to stay the same. I was never supposed to be that soft, forgiving, wide-eyed idiot they could keep on a leash. I cut the rope, and I let them fall out of my life. It's funny how quiet it gets when you stop chasing people. The ones who swore they'd always be there. Gone. The ones who loved you no matter what. Silent. The ones who said, call me if you need anything. Nowhere to be found. Good. I don't fucking need them. People romanticize this idea of loyalty like it's a virtue no matter the cost. But here's the truth. Loyalty is only noble when it's mutual. Otherwise, it's just slavery. I'm not a servant to someone else's comfort anymore. When you cut the rope, you find out who was holding the other end. And most of the time, it wasn't a savior. It was a weight that kept you from climbing higher. Now, I climb without looking down. I don't ask who's watching. I don't ask who's clapping. I don't fucking care who notices. You can call me cold. You can call me selfish. You can call me whatever you want. But you'll call me from far away, because you don't get access anymore. The day I stopped waiting for help was the day I became dangerous. Because now my survival doesn't depend on anyone. And my success, that's mine too. No one gets to claim it. No one gets to attach their name to my climb. They'll tell you you've changed. They'll tell you you're arrogant. They'll tell you you've lost your heart. Good. I traded my heart for armor. I traded my need for their approval for a need for my own respect. And I respect the hell out of the person I've become. Cutting the rope isn't just about walking away. It's about killing the version of you that waited for permission to live. It's about taking every moment of desperation, every sleepless night, every humiliation, and turning it into fuel. I burned the bridge and used the fire to light my way. I don't forgive easily now. I don't trust quickly. I don't hand out second chances like candy. That's not bitterness. That's wisdom. Pain taught me boundaries. Betrayal taught me patience. Abandonment taught me self-sufficiency. People will hate you for saving yourself because your freedom reminds them they're still tied to their own ropes. Your strength exposes their weakness. Your independence makes their dependency look pathetic. I'm not here to make them comfortable. I'm not here to shrink so they can feel tall. I'm not here to stay in the same place so they can keep me in their sight. I'm here to rise, even if it means I rise alone. Especially if it means I rise alone. I'll never apologize for cutting the rope. I'll never apologize for choosing me. I'll never apologize for walking away from the hands that could have pulled me up, but didn't. I saved myself. And now no one gets to say they made me. No one gets to rewrite my story. No one gets to claim they built me. I built me from the ground up, with no help, no safety net, no backup plan. And that's why I'm unbreakable now. They left me to drown. I learned to breathe underwater. Your love wasn't real. It was a leash, a trap disguised as care. Every "I love you" was just a chain you tightened when I started to pull away. You didn't love me. You wanted to own me. You wanted my loyalty without earning it. You wanted me small so you could feel big. You wanted me weak so you could play hero. But here's the thing. I'm not weak anymore. And I don't need your fake love to keep breathing. You called it affection. I call it control. You called it care. I call it manipulation. Every compliment you gave had a hook in it. Every kiss came with a fucking price tag. Every soft moment was just bait for the next time you'd cut me open. You wanted me addicted to you, dependent. You wanted me questioning my worth so I'd never think of leaving. You wanted me tired enough to stay quiet when you crossed the line. But I learned something. The moment I stopped giving a fuck about losing you, I started winning. Your love was never for me. It was for you, for your ego, for your image, for your need to be the center of my world while you made me an option in yours. You thought you could break me slow. You thought you could turn me into a shell that revolved around your moods. But all you did was give me a crash course in survival. And survival is a skill you can't unlearn. I see it now. Every sorry was just a reset button for the next round of damage. Every fight ended not because you cared, but because you wanted the control back. You didn't want peace. You wanted obedience. And I gave it to you for a while. I swallowed my anger. I kept my mouth shut. I told myself it was love, that relationships were hard work. But love doesn't make you smaller. Love doesn't strip you of your fire. Love doesn't require you to fucking vanish so someone else can shine. You didn't kill my heart. You forged it into something unrecognizable, cold, sharp, and untouchable. You made me stop believing in sweet words. You made me start believing in action. You made me trust silence more than promises. So no, I'm not angry that you lied. I'm not angry that you used me. I'm not even angry that I let it happen. I'm just done. Done giving pieces of myself to people who mistake kindness for weakness. Done feeding love to those who only know how to take. Done letting anyone fucking weaponize my heart against me. You want the truth. I'm glad it happened. Because now I see through people like you in seconds. The fake warmth, the sudden interest, the compliments that feel just a little too rehearsed. I can smell the rot under the roses, and I don't hesitate to walk away. You thought you left me broken, but you left me bulletproof. You thought you took my love, but you only taught me to guard it like gold, and you'll never touch it again. This is the last time I let someone like you close enough to cut me. The last time I mistake control for care. The last time I confuse chains for arms. Because now I know if love costs my freedom, it's not fucking love. If love kills my self-respect, it's not fucking love. If love feels like prison, I'd rather do life alone. You train me to see the game. And once you see the game, you can't lose. Not to liars. Not to manipulators. Not to anyone who mistakes loyalty for blind submission. So here's my promise. I will never love like that again. Not because I'm bitter, but because I'm smarter. Because now my love is a privilege, not a free pass. Because the next time someone tries to use my heart as a weapon, they'll find out I'm the one holding the fucking blade. You wanted me weak. You made me ruthless. And I owe you nothing but my silence. I'm not yours anymore. I'm not who I was anymore. And you're not even relevant anymore. Your love was a weapon. Mine is a war you'll never survive. Every scar I have is proof that I've already survived worse than you. Worse than betrayal. Worse than heartbreak. Worse than any bullshit you think you can throw at me. People look at scars like they're ugly. Like they're damaged. Like there's something to hide. I don't hide mine. I fucking display them. Because every mark on me is a message. I don't break the same way twice. You see, a scar means the wound healed. It means I didn't die when they tried to kill me. It means I walked through the fire and came out harder, sharper, less forgiving. And that's what people don't get. They think pain leaves you weak. It doesn't. Pain leaves you armed. Pain teaches you where the attack will come from next time. Pain makes sure next time there won't be a next time. Every scar I carry is a lesson I paid for in blood. And I'm not handing out refunds. I remember every time I trusted the wrong smile. Every time I stayed too long. Every time I ignored my gut because I didn't want to believe someone could be that fucking fake. The scars remind me. They don't let me forget. You can lie to yourself about people's intentions. You can give them second chances. You can swallow the red flags and call it love. But when they cut you deep and it heals into a scar, you stop making excuses. That's the thing about scars. They're not soft like skin. They're tougher, harder to cut through. And I've got enough of them to make sure no one gets to the real me without a fight. When someone sees my scars, they see history. When I see my scars, I see warning signs. I see the exact blueprint of where people tried to break me. And I make sure those entry points are sealed shut forever. Every time I got burned, I learned where to stand so the flames don't touch me again. Every time I got stabbed in the back, I learned to turn my back to no one. Every time I got played, I learned how to spot the game before it even starts. These scars, they're my resume. They tell the world I've been hurt and I've fucking healed. But more importantly, they tell the world I've got no patience for games anymore. So go ahead, try to get close. Try to pretend you're different. Try to think I'm naive enough to miss the signs this time. You'll hit the scars first. And the scars don't let anyone in. The people who hurt me thought they were ending me. They didn't. They were shaping me. They were building a version of me that doesn't need them, doesn't fear them, doesn't even remember them, except as a cautionary tale. You don't come back from certain things the same, and you shouldn't want to. The person I was before the scars was soft, too trusting, too forgiving, too fucking easy to play. That person died. The person standing here now, you can't guilt me. You can't shame me. You can't control me. I've been torn apart before, and I live to tell about it. So what can you really do to me now? Nothing. Every scar is a shield. Every scar is armor. Every scar is a silent warning that says, don't even fucking try. You might see a survivor. I see a soldier. You might see someone who's been through hell. I see someone who's learned to breathe fire. The best part, I don't even need to threaten you. I don't need to raise my voice. I don't need to explain where these scars came from. You'll feel the weight of them the second you stand in front of me, because scars speak louder than words. They tell you I've been betrayed, but I still trust myself. They tell you I've been broken, but I rebuilt stronger. They tell you I've been hurt, but I'll never be hurt that way again. People fear pain because they think it will destroy them. They don't realize it's the pain that makes them indestructible. So here's my truth. Every scar is a receipt for a lesson learned. Every scar is proof that I don't fold. Every scar is a warning sign, and it's not for me, it's for you. Final warning, if you think you're the next one to cut me, remember this. You're not going to leave a scar. You're going to leave in pieces. Every scar I carry is a warning I survived worse than you, and I'm still armed. I don't argue anymore. I don't explain. I don't warn. When I'm done, I'm just gone. Silence is the final weapon. It cuts deeper than screaming. It leaves them with no closure, no answer, no chance to rewrite the truth. It makes them sit in their own guilt until it rots them from the inside. When you've been lied to enough times, you realize talking is a waste of breath. When you've been betrayed enough times, you realize explanations are just fuel for their games. You can't reason with snakes. You can't fix poison. You can only remove yourself and let the absence do the work. That's the thing about silence. It's not empty. It's full. Full of every word you'll never hear from me again. Full of every piece of me you'll never touch again. Full of all the access you lost and will never get back. People hate silence because it forces them to hear themselves. It forces them to face the truth without distractions. They can't twist it. They can't talk their way out of it. They can't drag you into another cycle of bullshit because you're not even in the room. And that's why silence wins. It doesn't give them a fight to feed on. It doesn't give them a target to hit. It doesn't give them a chance to drag you down with them. When I go silent, it's because I've already decided you're not worth another second of my life. No conversation. No last goodbye. No, we can work this out. It's done. Some people will tell you to get closure. Fuck closure. Closure is just another chance for them to manipulate you. Closure is letting them explain why they stabbed you, as if the reason will make the knife hurt less. I don't need that. I've learned to give myself closure by locking the door and never opening it again. And here's the part they never expect. Silence is permanent. It's not a punishment. It's not a test. It's a burial. When I cut you off, you don't get my voice. You don't get my presence. You don't even get the satisfaction of knowing how much I don't give a fuck. You get nothing. And nothing is heavier than silence. Because when you scream at someone, they can scream back. When you argue, they can twist your words. When you try to make them understand, they can play dumb. But silence is untouchable. Silence is control. Silence is a mirror that forces them to see the damage they caused without you lifting a finger. And I've seen it work. People who thought they could walk all over me start falling apart the moment I disappear. They reach out. They bait. They throw every trick in the book to get a reaction. Because they know if I'm silent, I'm done. And nothing is coming back. That's why silence is the sharpest blade. It doesn't just cut them off from you. It cuts them off from the version of themselves they could only be around you. You take away the audience. You take away the stage. You take away their power. So I don't need revenge in the loud, messy way people think. I don't need to ruin you publicly. I don't need to drag your name through the mud. You'll ruin yourself trying to get back the version of me you killed, and you'll never find it again. That's the beauty of silence. It's self-respect in its purest form. It says, I don't even care enough to explain why you're gone. It says your access has been permanently revoked. It says you're no longer worth the sound of my voice. I used to think walking away quietly was weak. Now I know it's the ultimate display of strength. Anyone can shout. Anyone can vent. Anyone can waste hours trying to make a toxic person understand. But it takes a different kind of discipline to disappear without a trace. And when I do, it's not temporary. There's no comeback. Once I'm silent, you're already dead to me. And I don't resurrect the dead. So let them wander. Let them stalk your life from the shadows. Let them rewrite the story to make themselves the hero. You don't need to correct them. You don't need to defend yourself. Because while they're obsessed with the past, you're already building the future. And they're not in it. The truth is, silence is the loudest thing you'll ever hear. It's the sound of finality. It's the sound of control. It's the sound of someone who's done giving their time, energy, and heart to people who never deserved it in the first place. I am that silence now. Cold. Untouchable. You can shout my name all you want. You can make up stories. You can act like you never cared. But you'll never hear from me again. And that's the cut that never heals. When I go silent, it's not peace. It's execution. I don't chase anyone anymore. Not friends. Not lovers. Not opportunities. If you walk away, stay gone. If you lose me, I'm not coming back. Because here's the truth. People only value what they think they can lose. If they think you'll keep running after them, they'll treat you like a fucking option. They'll give you half, knowing you'll beg for the rest. Not me. Not anymore. I used to run. I used to fight for people who weren't fighting for me. I used to waste nights convincing people to stay. And all it did was teach them I had no self-respect. That I'd always be there, no matter how many times they crossed the line. That version of me is dead. Now, I don't chase. I replace, you leave. Cool. I fill the space you left with someone better, someone real, someone who doesn't make me prove my worth every fucking day. And if I can't find someone better, I replace you with peace. Because peace is worth more than any fake connection you think I'm losing. People think not chasing means you don't care. Wrong. It means I care about myself more than I care about keeping people who don't deserve me. It means I'm not lowering my standards to keep you comfortable. It means I'm not going to make it easy for you to disrespect me twice. See, chasing is weakness disguised as loyalty. It's desperation wearing the mask of love. It's begging someone to see value they've already decided to ignore. And that's pathetic. You never have to chase what's real. What's meant for you doesn't require you to humiliate yourself. What's meant for you stays. And if it doesn't, it's not yours. I've learned that the second someone shows you they're willing to lose you, believe them. Don't negotiate. Don't beg. Don't start listing all the reasons they should stay. Just step back, shut the door, and let them find out the hard way that you're not replaceable. You're unforgettable. That's the difference between me now and me then. Back then, I thought losing someone meant I lost part of myself. Now I know losing someone often means you gain your freedom. It means you cut dead weight. It means you make room for better. I don't have time for people who think love is a game of push and pull. I don't have time for almost loyalty. I don't have time for people who test how far they can go before I walk. Test me once, that's all you get. Because the moment you show me you can leave, I'm already replacing you in my mind. Not out of revenge, not out of spite, out of survival. I'm not afraid to be alone. I'm afraid of wasting my life on people who drain me. That's why I don't fight for anyone to stay. If you want to go, go. If you think you can do better, good luck. If you think I'll be here when you realize you fucked up, you're wrong. By then, you'll be a ghost. And I don't resurrect ghosts. Replacing isn't just about people. It's about mindset. It's about replacing bad habits with discipline. Replacing fake comfort with real growth. replacing distractions with purpose, replacing old versions of myself with better ones, over and over again. You don't need to chase when you know your worth. You don't need to beg when you know what you bring to the table. You don't need to explain when your silence already says, I'm done here. And here's the part they never see coming. By the time they realize what they lost, you're already gone. By the time they want to talk, you've already replaced them. By the time they miss you, you've already forgotten them. You see, chasing is for people who have nothing better to do. Replacing is for people who know time is currency, and they're not wasting it on anyone who treats them like an afterthought. So no, I don't chase anymore. I let people make their choice, and when they choose wrong, I make mine. This isn't arrogance. This is self-respect. This is understanding that love isn't real if you have to beg for it. This is knowing that if someone can throw you away, they don't deserve the version of you they had. I'm not in the business of proving my value to people who can't see it. I'm in the business of replacing anyone and anything that slows me down. Because the truth is, I'd rather walk alone than follow someone who's walking away from me. So if you're thinking about leaving, understand this: I won't chase you. I won't stop you. I won't even hate you. I'll just replace you. And when you finally realize what you lost, it'll be too late. Because I'll be with someone somewhere or something better, and you won't even exist in my world anymore. I don't chase, I replace, and once you're replaced, you're erased. I learned precision the hard way. Pain was the teacher that never smiled. It didn't hug me, it carved me. I don't swing wild anymore. I don't waste shots. I don't bleed for people who clap when I fall. Every move has a cost, and I count it before I move. Pain made me notice patterns. Who lies when the room gets quiet? Who disappears when I need them most? Who only loves me when I'm useful? I used to react. Now I respond. Slow, exact. No rush to prove anything to anyone. Results speak. Excuses rot. I trimmed my circle to the bone. Quality over crowd. Standards over feeling. If you flinch at boundaries, you don't belong near me. If you need reminders to be loyal, you're not my people. Pain made me study myself. Where I leak energy. Where I chase validation. Where I let comfort make me soft. I cut those habits like tumors. I replaced them with discipline and silence. I plan my day like a surgeon plans a cut. Wake, train, work, learn, build. No dead hours, no drama. Momentum is medicine and I overdose on it. I used to fear being alone. Now solitude is my war room. No noise, no opinions, no pity. Just the truth and the next target. I don't forgive patterns. I don't negotiate with disrespect. I don't justify laziness. You get one data point, maybe two. After that, I act. Not loud, not emotional. Final. Pain taught me to conserve words. Talking is cheap. Execution is priceless. I let my progress embarrass what tried to stop me. When anger comes, I don't explode. I refine. I turn rage into reps. I turn shame into standards. I turn heartbreak into hours of work that no one sees. I measure inputs, not hopes. Sleep, nutrition, training, learning, output, track it, adjust it, repeat. Feelings don't run my life, systems do. They care if I showed up. I study failure like a crime scene. What was sloppy? What was rushed? What was ego? Then I rewrite the procedure. Next time, clean. Next time, surgical. Pain made me careful with access. Not everyone earns my time. You want me present. Bring value or bring silence. I don't chase crowds, trends, or applause. I chase mastery. Deep work over dopamine. Craft over clout. Skill stays. I protect my focus like it's oxygen. Notifications off. Boundaries on. If you're not in the mission, you're noise. And I starve noise. Precision is a lifestyle. It's in how I speak, how I dress, how I train, how I rest. It's in deleting contacts that waste my time and multiplying routines that build my name. Pain ended my addiction to potential is a trap. Someday is a graveyard. I deal in data actions, consistency, results. You show me effort or you show me the door. I keep promises to myself like they're sacred. When I say I'll do it, it's done. Not tomorrow. Now, discipline isn't mood dependent, it's identity. People call me cold. They're right. Warmth was used against me. Kindness was treated like a discount. So I price everything at full cost access, love, trust. Pay up front with action or keep moving. Pain gave me boundaries with teeth. You cross them, you bleed opportunity. You test me, you lose access. No dramatic speeches. I move like a metronome, steady, boring, deadly. While others chase chaos, I stack quiet wins. I don't fear missing out, I fear wasting potential. Burned the bridge to who I was. No return policies. I am expensive to reach and impossible to distract. Pain made me precise with love. I don't hand it out like samples. I invest it where it multiplies strength, peace, and purpose. If it drains me, it dies. If it feeds me, it stays. I'm not hunting validation. I'm building inevitability. Step by step. No skipped reps. No skipped lessons. When setbacks hit, I tighten form. When fear whispers, I raise standards. When doubt shouts, I get quieter and work harder. Pain taught me to aim small and hit hard. Pick the vital task. Finish it clean. Stack accuracy until momentum becomes identity. I document what works and kill what doesn't. 10 minutes saved becomes an hour by Friday, a week by the quarter. I weaponize routines, same start, same grind, same standards. Repetition isn't boring, it's a forge. I don't chase motivation. I show up like a contract I signed with myself. If I miss, I pay interest in sweat. I cut my goals into targets so small they can't dodge me. Call, write, lift, code, study, sell. No heroics, just consistency stacked until it looks like talent. Relentless. Always. I don't beg the world to open doors. I build keys. I don't ask for permission. I set the terms. If you bring chaos, you wait outside. If you bring focus, walk in and get to work. If you bring envy, security will escort you out. I don't ask, will they approve? I ask, did I move the needle? The mission is simple: build what can't be broken by opinions. Build what can't be taken by loss. Build what outlives the people who underestimated me. If you're with me, prove it. If you're against me, thank you for the clarity. I'm done performing. I calibrate. I execute. I leave marks, not memories. They can keep the gossip. I'll keep the ground I gain. Pain stripped me of fantasy. Final truth. I don't need to be louder. I need to be sharper. Pain made me precise. Precision makes me untouchable. Revenge isn't rage. It isn't screaming in someone's face. It isn't proving a point right now. Real revenge is patience. It's silence. It's disappearing into the grind until the life they thought you'd never have becomes the one they can't stop watching. I don't argue with people anymore. I don't chase explanations. I don't waste breath proving them wrong. I let my results do that for me. And results don't need captions. They laughed. Good, they doubted. Even better. Every smirk, every insult, every backhanded comment is fuel. Fuel I burn in the dark where no one claps and no one sees until the fire is too big to ignore. The truth is, the loudest people have the least to show. They make noise to distract from their lack of progress. I used to be like that, telling everyone what I was going to do, looking for approval before I even moved. Now I move in silence. I don't announce. I deliver. Revenge isn't about making them hurt. It's about making them irrelevant. The best payback is living so far above where they left you that they can't even reach the floor you stand on. That's why my success is my weapon. Not the kind that swings wild. Not the kind that wastes shots. The kind that hits once and ends the fight before it starts. They expect you to fail without them. They expect you to crawl back. They expect you to fade. When you don't, that's the cut that never heals. You see, revenge that's loud is temporary. It gives them attention, and attention is oxygen. But revenge that's quiet, that's a chokehold. It starves them. It denies them access to your energy, your progress, your wins, until all they have left is the memory of the last time they mattered to you. I don't block people out of hate. I block them out of efficiency. I don't want their eyes on my grind until it's too late to stop it. You want to hurt someone who betrayed you? Don't fight them. Outgrow them. Replace every ounce of emotion they drained from you with work that builds you. Turn the tears into skills. Turn the silence into strategy. Turn the heartbreak into momentum. By the time they realize you've changed, you're already too far ahead. They'll try to catch up. They'll try to make peace. But peace isn't the goal. Elevation is. The people who underestimated you will always come back to check if you've moved on. Let them look. Let them scroll. Let them see that everything they thought would bury you became the foundation you built on. That's why I don't talk about my plans anymore. I don't need hype. I need execution. Hype fades. Execution stacks. One brick at a time until the wall is too high for them to climb. I've learned that the sweetest revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's proving yourself right. It's doing exactly what they swore you couldn't, without ever saying their name. My success isn't for them. It's for me. It's for the nights I stayed awake replaying every lie. It's for the mornings I dragged myself out of bed when quitting felt easier. It's for the version of me that thought they were the end of my story. And here's the truth. I don't even care if they see it. The goal isn't their attention. The goal is my evolution. If they notice, good. If they don't, even better. Either way, I'm not stopping. People will tell you, success is the best revenge, like it's just a saying. But when you've been broken, betrayed, humiliated, you understand it's the only revenge that lasts. It's the only thing they can't talk their way out of. They can dismiss your feelings. They can lie about what happened. But they can't fake your results. That's why I stay quiet. That's why I let the work speak. That's why I disappear until there's nothing to explain. Only proof. Revenge is best served when they don't see it coming. When they think you're still hurt, still stuck, still bleeding. And you're not. You're thriving. You're building. You're living a life they can't touch. And the moment they realize it's permanent, that's when it hits. Not because you shouted, not because you posted, but because the gap between you now and you then is too wide for them to cross. That's the kill shot, not the scream, not the fight, the silence, the progress. The fact that you never needed them to win. They tried to make you a cautionary tale instead. You became a success story they'll never admit they inspired. So I keep it simple. I don't chase closure. I don't announce my moves. I don't fight small battles. I build quietly, relentlessly. Until winning isn't an event, it's my default. Revenge is quiet. Success is louder. And I'm done speaking. I buried who I was, not with tears, with decisions, with standards, with boundaries that bite back. The old version begged. The old version explained. The old version tolerated. I cut his voice out of my head and locked the door behind him. I held a quiet trial in my mind. Evidence only. No excuses. Where did I bend? Where did I shrink? Where did I sell myself cheap just to keep the peace? Guilty on all counts. Sentence. Permanent exile. That softness had its chance. It failed. I don't hate who I was. I'm done letting him drive. He wanted approval. He accepted crumbs. He treated access to me like a discount. That's over. My time is premium. My love is earned. My effort is expensive. Pay in action or stay out. I buried apologies I didn't owe. I buried second chances for repeat offenders. I buried the habit of fixing people who break me. I buried the fantasy that love without respect can survive. I buried the urge to be understood by people committed to misunderstanding me. I stopped waiting for closure from mouths that lied. I create my own endings, now block, delete, replace. Not out of anger, out of self-respect, out of energy conservation, out of the knowledge that every minute spent proving a point is a minute stolen from my future. I killed the need to be liked. Liking me is optional. Respecting me is mandatory. Cross a boundary and the door shuts quietly, without appeal. I don't announce departures. I vanish. Silence signs the death certificate. I upgraded my standards and let attrition do the rest. Anyone who couldn't meet the bar fell away without drama. I don't chase. I don't negotiate with half effort. Consistency or distance. That's the policy. It's printed on my face. I reprogrammed my mornings. Wave, work, learn, build. No bargains, no feelings-based delays. The calendar is a contract. The contract doesn't care about moods. The work gets done because I said it would. Identity first, emotion second. I buried the hero complex. I am not a rescue plan. I am not free therapy. I am not emotional scaffolding for people who would watch me collapse. Reciprocity or removal. Give or go. I keep the circle small and the standards tall. I clean my mental desk. Old grudges filed as lessons. Old fantasies archived as noise. Old goals upgraded with dates and numbers. If it's not scheduled, it doesn't exist. If it doesn't compound, it doesn't stay. I retired the nostalgia that kept me stuck. Memories are souvenirs, not maps. I don't return to places that drained me just because I once smiled there. If peace doesn't live there now, I don't either. I buried the version of me who mistook chaos for passion. Chaos is a bill that comes due with interest. I pay cash now, focus, routine, discipline. Boring beats broken, quiet beats dramatic, results beat stories. I rewired my trust, first in me, then in data, then in patterns. Words are promotional material, behavior is the product. If the product is trash, the ad means nothing. I buy with observation, not hope. I purge the need to explain my worth. I don't pitch myself to people shopping for discounts. I set the price and I keep it there. If it's too high, that's the point. I am not affordable to the uncommitted. I buried my open door policy. Access is earned and revocable. Proximity is a privilege with maintenance fees, honesty, consistency, loyalty. Miss a payment, lose the pass. No late notices. I am merciless with distractions. Notifications off. Temptations out. I don't window shop dopamine. I stockpile momentum. When in doubt, I default to action. Motion cleans the mind. I stopped romanticizing rock bottom. Rock bottom is just a floor. I used it once. Then I installed stairs. Every step is another habit hardened. Sleep on time. Train on schedule. Eat like an athlete. Study like a threat. I buried the soft expectations I had of the world. No one is coming. Good. That means I own the outcome. Radical responsibility is heavy, but it's the only weight that builds real strength. I forgave myself for being naive. Then I find myself for repeating it. Lessons become laws. Laws have consequences. Break them. Pay the cost. Pay in sweat. Pay in time. But pay. I fired the committee in my head. No more votes on dreams. No more democratic standards. I am the board, the CEO, the enforcer. Strategy in the morning. Execution all day. Audit at night. I don't beg the door to open. I build keys. I don't ask for a seat. I buy the table. I don't wait to be seen. I become undeniable through repetition that borders on obsession. I buried comparisons. Their path is none of my business. My metrics are internal. Did I move the needle? Did I keep promises to myself? Did I earn tomorrow by what I did today? That scoreboard decides everything. I starved the parts of me that fed on pity. I fed the parts that crave purpose. Purpose isn't pretty. It's consistent, unromantic grind. But it gives back more than it takes, and it never lies. I archive the words. Someday. Maybe. And when I feel like it, they're banned phrases. The language now is verbs write, sell, lift, call, study, ship, conjugated daily. I buried the fear of being alone. Solitude is a sanctuary for the serious. In the quiet, I can hear the next right move. In the quiet, I sharpen. In the quiet, I become the person crowds clap for once the work is undeniable. I ended passive consumption. I create more than I consume. I practice until skill stacks into inevitability. I am not waiting for a big break. I'm building a big record. I buried apologies to my past self. He did what he knew. I do what I must. Compassion without accountability is how people stay stuck. I refuse to be stuck. I retired the idea that balance means softness. Balance means alignment. Calendar equals values. Bank account equals priorities. Body equals discipline. Relationships equal standards. If they don't match, I adjust me, not reality. I stopped asking if I'm ready. Readiness is manufactured by reps. Confidence is evidence repeating. Fear is a forecast I don't invest in. I buy proof. I buried the expectation of fairness. Life isn't fair. It's exact. It pays what you invoice. So I invoice with work, not wishes. Payment clears in outcomes. I unsubscribe from drama. It's a tax on focus charged by the unfocused. I refuse to pay. I'd rather compound in peace than perform in chaos. I installed a firewall on my heart. Love gets in through ports named respect, effort, and truth. Anything else gets flagged and burned. No exceptions, not even for nostalgia. I buried the man who wanted to be chosen. I choose myself every morning, every plan, every boundary. I don't audition, I declare. The old me is buried, the new me doesn't resurrect. I'm not the same. I'm not who I was when I got here. I've burned through versions of myself that would have never survived what I've walked through. I've been broken. I've been lied to. I've been left behind. But I'm still here. And I'm not here to heal in your timeline or play by your rules. I don't fear the storm anymore. I am the storm. They wanted me quiet, predictable, safe. They wanted me manageable. They wanted me to keep taking hits, keep forgiving, keep pretending like nothing happened. That version is dead. The storm buried them. I don't negotiate with disrespect. I don't grant second chances to repeat offenders. I don't chase people who think I'm replaceable. I've been through enough hell to know this. No one is coming to save me. And that's the best thing that's ever happened to me, because now I know my survival depends on one thing, me. When I was weak, I begged. When I was naive, I trusted. When I was desperate, I stayed. Now, I remove. I replace. I rebuild. Pain rewired me. Betrayal calibrated me. Loss made me ruthless. I've seen people pray for your success just so they can take credit for it. I've seen people cheer for you in public and hope for your failure in private. I've seen I love you turn into I never knew you overnight. And I've learned this: you don't need to expose them. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to win so loudly in reality that their opinions evaporate in irrelevance. I've walked away from love that wasn't love, from friendships that were handshakes with knives, from opportunities that demanded my dignity as payment. I've stopped making myself small to keep other people comfortable. I've stopped apologizing for outgrowing places that only taught me to shrink. I've stopped caring about being nice to people who'd set me on fire if it kept them warm. I'm not cruel. I'm not reckless. I'm not bitter. I'm precise. I'm disciplined. I'm untouchable in ways I never was before, because I've taken the worst of what life threw at me and I've turned it into armor. The kind you can't buy. The kind you only earn by bleeding for it. I don't want their pity. I don't want their attention. I don't want their approval. The only thing I want is progress. The only thing I demand is control. Control of my time. Control of my energy. Control of my future. And here's what they'll never understand. Storms don't ask for permission. They don't explain their path. They don't apologize for what they destroy. They clear the ground for something stronger to be built. I'm not here to go back to who I was. I'm here to keep evolving until the gap between me and my past is so big I can't even see it anymore. So if you've been betrayed, use it. If you've been abandoned, use it. If you've been underestimated, use it. Every insult, every doubt, every act of disrespect is fuel. And you don't let fuel go to waste. People will tell you to move on. They mean move quietly. They mean don't make them uncomfortable with your growth. Ignore them. They're not the ones who bled for this. They're not the ones who rebuilt from the floor. They're not the ones who had to fight for every inch while pretending to be fine. You are. You did, and now it's time to collect. You don't need to be the loudest. You don't need to be the most liked. You just need to be undeniable. And that comes from one thing: consistent, relentless action that never stops. Let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them wonder how you did it. You'll never tell them, because storms don't explain. They arrive. They destroy. They rebuild. I'm not here to inspire. I'm here to warn. The person I was is gone. The one standing here now is the result of everything I survived. You can't threaten me with loss. I've lost better. You can't scare me with pain. I've been through worse. You can't break me. You didn't build me. I am not coming back softer. I am not coming back the same. I am coming back as the consequence. Call to action: stop waiting for the right time. Stop looking for permission. Stop trying to convince the people who've already shown you they don't believe in you. Cut the dead weight. Replace hesitation with execution. Decide today that you're done playing small. They think you can't. Prove it so violently with your results that their doubt becomes the dumbest thing they ever believe. The storm doesn't wait. The storm doesn't ask. The storm doesn't stop. Be the storm. Be the problem they can't solve. Be the reason they regret letting you go. You've survived enough. Now destroy everything that tried to destroy you.